The old mansion stands defiant while the wind harasses its loose window shutters, the overgrown grass and trees around it violently dancing, warning anyone from traveling these lands in such harsh weather. One man would prove more stubborn than the house he just broke into. He is a thief, and he has come to collect his spoils. With flashlight in hand, he steps over dust-ridden wooden floors, replacing a lifetime worth of dust with the mud from his boots, collected just in front of the door he broke through with a crowbar. While some windows held strong over the years, others have conceded to the abusive environment, letting the thief hear the source of their failure howl loudly as he looks around before settling his sights on the grand stairs. The plan of attack was set. It was time to get to work. The thief walked up the steps of the grand stairs, its creaks betraying his location to no one but the spiders. The bright beam of his light streams across the halls as he searches for a room to be the victim of his intrusion. He feels a sudden dread, the hairs on the back of his neck stand like the hairs of a frightened cat. An urge to look behind nagged on his mind before he gave in and turned swiftly with his light. Peeking around the corner of the corridor he just passed was a split second of a bright blue eye behind strands of long, black hair, reflecting his light like a well-cut gem, before it sunk back behind the wall. Then something slammed hard from the other direction, and the thief jumped from the sudden jarring event. He looked back to where he saw the eye. Nothing. He held his crowbar out tightly, ready to confront any rivaling treasure hunters, or one of the crazy villagers who disliked people vandalizing their landmarks. A silence would pass before he continued the search for his prize. A door to an unknown room would be the second to succumb to his crowbar. With a creak and a shatter, the door gave way to reveal the secrets it had been hiding. It appears to be a bedroom, decorated with old wooden furniture consisting of a shelf, a fairly large drawer, an armoire, and, of course, a single bed, big enough for only one person. There appears to be old dolls on the bed and shelf. Not interested in wasting time in a little girl's room, he turned towards the door to find a room belonging to someone who's more likely to have had something valuable. As he was about to leave, a pale hand appeared out of thin air to grab the thief by the wrist while he wasn't looking. He instinctively pulled away from it and looked back to where it came from, only again seeing the room completely empty. The thief stood motionless, trying to rationalize what just happened. Must be his imagination. It must be. The villagers' stories are getting to him. He backed away slowly, keeping an eye on the room, before turning back around. Right when he faced the other direction, he immediately saw the blue eye from before, right in front of him, only there were two eyes attached to a girl with pale skin. Her face was barely visible thanks to her long black hair, but it revealed enough to portray a stern and displeased expression. He dropped his flashlight while gazing into her eyes in shock, still shining brightly even without the flashlight pointing at her, and stood there in fear, clutching his crowbar. The sun breaks through the clouds and seeps through the cracks on the ceiling. As they hit her face, she screamed a blood-curdling scream, and charged right at him. Her hair parts to expose her face and soul-piercing eyes. The thief screamed, and as he fell back, on the floor, the wood gave in to the sudden impact, causing him to fall to the next floor below. Suddenly, silence, the wind still howling. She stands near the hole the man made and looks down. A while later, she vanishes. The thief lay among the rubble, still, and lifeless. Another foolish soul trying to defy the curse, and another soul claimed by it. They tried to warn him. He would be discovered the next day and taken to be buried in an unmarked grave, among the many that had suffered the same fate. He was not the first thief to disbelieve and succumb to the curse, and he most certainly won't be the last.